My name's Morgan Doremus, and I'm with RT Book Reviews, and I'm sitting here today with Christy Reece, a fabulous author. Romantic suspense is your genre.
Yes, yes.
Can you tell me, it's very quickly becoming one of my favorite genres. It's kind of my go-to if I'm having a bad day. You can read it and just get so caught up in the action. Why did you choose that genre to focus on?
It's always been my favorite genre also. I grew up reading Nancy Drew, and I think I just kind of gravitated towards that. I read so many different kinds of genres. I always gravitated towards romance, and then I always gravitated towards mysteries. Loved John Grisham, so I kind of wanted to blend those together, and that's why I love it.
Excellent. How do you really balance out the emotion versus that fast-paced action? Because you really do both in your novels.
I try to do that. I really focus mainly on my characters, how they meet, fall in love, and then they work together to solve a case or to rescue, which is what my books are about. So I do that, and then whatever they tell me to do as far as the
you're
action
one of
is
those
concerned.
authors.
Yeah.
You say your characters really
Yes.
lead you
Yeah,
down
they
the
do.
path.
They absolutely do. There's no many. I don't know how many times I've sat down and said, okay, this is the way I want it to go, and then they go completely off the board and they do whatever they want. So I love the romance, and I want to focus on the romance, and then they just kind of lead me to the action.
Can you tell me what happens if one time you sit down and you've got your characters and they're just not talking to you? They're just maybe nothing's happening. How do you get? I know the traditional is writer's block, but how do you get past that?
I get up and do something else. If I'm just sitting there staring at a blank screen, there's nothing more frustrating than that, especially if you see it in your head, but you just can't get it on the screen. That's so frustrating. So I get up and do the dreaded housework, and I just would almost want to do anything other than housework, but I will do that, or I'll take a walk. Taking a shower is amazing. I don't know, you're not thinking, and your subconscious is just free to do whatever, and it suddenly all sorts of scenes come to me, and then I have to dry off and run.
I'm ready, and then you got your computer.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, we're super excited because you have a new trilogy coming out. Now, you've already written 2 trilogies, and they are connected.
They're all connected.
They're all
yes.
connected. So I'm calling this new trilogy, I'm calling it the Sweet Trilogy, because that's kind of the catchphrase for all of the different titles. Can you tell us about this new book's coming out?
The first one is called Sweet Justice, and all of my books have characters that have at least one, the hero or the heroine, have appeared in another book. So in Sweet Justice, Honor Stone is my heroine, and she first appeared in Second Chance, which was a book that came out last year, and she is going to be reunited with an old flame named Seth Kavanaugh, and there's all sorts of I guess you could say hard feelings, because it did not end well, and then they're reuniting because there is a person who is kidnapping young women from campuses, and they're going to work together. Seth's niece has been abducted, and he comes to Last Chance Rescue, and Honor Stone is working there. And so that's they see each other again, and then they're working together to rescue the victims.
I think it's one of the hardest things to bring 2 characters together that have a past, and a past that ended very badly. It seems to me, as an author, you kind of set yourself up for a big, a tall order to really get those 2 people together. Because if you have 2 characters that meet for the first time, they both start fresh. They both, you have that first impression, and you can, and you can get to know each other. But if you've got that past, that has got to be a hard thing to try to go through.
That's my favorite thing. It really is. I love a past history because they already have that heat.
Yep.
And that attraction, so it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm attracted to this person. It's, oh my gosh, I'm attracted to this person again. What am I going to do with it? How am I going to deal with this? So that out of the 6 books that are out right now from Last Chance Rescue, I think at least 4 of them are reunion romances. So I love that, because I love giving everybody a second chance. When you let go of that first love, and sometimes so many of us never get that second chance, and I love giving it to my characters.
Well, speaking of your characters' past, a lot of times, and maybe something you're known for, is a lot of your characters have sometimes very, very they're very damaged from earlier on, and they face great odds, things they have to overcome, things they have to get through. And again, you really set yourself up to work very hard to get them over that. Why do you choose to do that? Why the difficult past for your people?
When I came up with the idea of Last Chance Rescue, to me it made sense to have people work for that organization who had been through something similar, that could really identify and say, I will do anything I have to do to save that person from going through the same thing I did. And I love these strong characters who, they risk so much and sacrifice so much to help others. And so I'm really attracted to that kind of person.
Do you ever think, I'm just going to scrap the whole romantic suspense and write historicals where they go to balls? Ever have that feeling?
Not yet. I love historicals. I read historicals all the time, but no, romantic suspense is it for me right now. Yeah. Maybe someday I've got this idea in the back of my mind for a gothic ghost story kind of thing, which I think would be really cool.
I think your writing would be it would do well.
I do love dark writing, so I think that would be really fun. I think you'd have a lot of fun with that. But right now, romantic suspense is where I want to be.
Excellent. Well, at RT, we absolutely love your books, and we hear from readers all the time saying they can't wait for the next one. So the sweet books we can start picking up this month, and with the next to come throughout the rest of the year.
Yes, August, September, and then December.
Excellent. Well, I really want to thank you for sitting down with me today.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.